So I know I'm going to get hate for this one, and I truly do not care. Not every single dietitian or CNS should open a private practice. I said what I said, and I mean it. I know it's not the trendiest thing to say as a business coach who makes her livelihood converting people over to private practice. Everybody online wants to sell you this dream, be your own boss, set your own hours, freedom, but nobody tells you what it actually takes. And some of you are not going to like hearing what I have to say today. But private practice is not an escape plan. It's not a personality trait. It's not a vibe. It's not a business plan, and businesses require skills that have nothing to do with being a good clinician. So let's get to it. Part one of dietitians who should not open private practices, Amy P. Edition. Dietitians who should not open private practices. If you want to open a private practice because you hate your boss, that is not a good reason to open a practice. Running from something is by no means the same thing as running towards something, right? I want you to think about that one. Private practice does not fix your workplace trauma, right? It gives you a new set of problems with no human resources department. So if your only motivation is escape, there is a good chance you are not ready for private practice. You're just angry, and angry is not a business plan. And by no means should we be considering jumping ship. Number two, if you need to be liked by every single client, right? Private practice means setting a shit ton of boundaries, right? Sending bills, enforcing no-show policies, having hard conversations with your patients about their insurance coverage. So if the thought of being annoyed with a particular patient makes you want to spiral, private practice will eat you alive. Your people pleasing skills and your clinical strength are going to be challenged in private practice, right? And so if you need to be loved, liked, pleased, every single client in your practice, then there is a good chance private practice is not going to be a good fit for you. Number three, who is not a good fit for private practice? Dietitians who are not willing to be uncomfortable with money, right? You need to talk about money. You need to charge for your time. You will need to chase down claims, send invoices, raise your rates, look at profit and loss statements, have really uncomfortable conversations with clients about their outstanding balances. So if money makes you squirmy, private practice will be a nightmare, right? This is a business. Businesses run on revenue, and revenue requires you to stop treating money like a dirty word, right? I said what I said, right? If you're taking insurance and thinking about insurance and you're thinking it isn't worth it because somebody on Instagram told you otherwise, then running an insurance-based practice may not be the best fit for you. So half the dietitians who are telling you that insurance is shit and pays shit are the same exact motherfuckers who actually have never learned how to properly bill. They gave up before they even figured it out, and now they're projecting their bullshit onto you, right? Insurance-based practices are one of the, if not the most sustainable model out there, as long as you're willing to do it right. So don't let somebody else's failure become your business strategy, right? So hopefully these are kind of like hitting home. The last one that I want to talk about today is if you are thinking about going into private practice and the first thing you think is, I will figure out this stuff later, then there is a good chance private practice will not be a good fit for you, right? There is no later in private practice. The business stuff is the business. Credentialing, billing, taxes, legal structure, compliance. If you open a private practice without understanding these things, you are not being brave. You are actually being reckless with your money and reckless with your license, right? The clinical work is literally like 20% of what we do in private practice, right? So if you feel called out, good. This means you're paying attention, right? Next week, we're going to drop part two of dietitians who should not be in private practice. And trust me when I tell you, it gets even spicier. We will be turning up the heat, punching the shit up next level. So save this video, send it to a dietitian friend who needs to hear it. And most importantly, look out next week when video part two drops. Dietitians who should not be in private practice from your girl, Amy P.